Hi, I'm Solomon Bloomer, cereal enthusiast and the only male in my family that doesn't have a PhD. But I'm still a man of science, and the science of finding out things that maybe shouldn't be found out. And today, we're going down a dark path together. Over the summer, I got to thinking, what's the best part of the dining commons? Some people would say it's the pizza and the pasta bar, while others would say it's the ice cream machine. And others would say it's just the food. While those are all wonderful opinions, they're all incorrect. The best part of the DC is the unlimited amount of fruity Pebbles. And that got me thinking, how much of my money's worth am I getting with each bowl? Was there a way to tell? We're going to go on that journey together. So grab your gloves from the trunk of your car in a Best Buy parking lot, because this video is all about cereal. So what will our process look like today? I've broken it down into 3 simple steps. Step 1, acquire information. Step 2, apply said information to some formulas that need to be written. And step 3, challenge Immanuel Kant's concept of intrinsic worth. That's the most important one. First bits of information we need are what brand of cereal does the school supply? Are we actually eating Fruity Pebbles, or are we eating something else? The other question we need answered is what quantity does the school purchase the cereal? Over the summer, I reached out to a buddy of mine, as well as Mikey Ward, but neither of them could help me out with my quest. So I decided to get down and dirty and brave the desolate landscape I had once called the DC. Arriving to my destination, I asked one of the workers the 2 burning questions, and only one of them was answered. I've apparently been misleading you so far, and so is the school. Ladies and gentlemen, the DC serves fruity Dino Bites. That was one question answered, but I still needed to know the size of the bags that they purchased. I was given 2 ballpark numbers between a 65 ounce and 108 ounces. Then, the person I was talking to went to the back to check which one. So I waited, and waited, and waited again. I was left there for 40 minutes without an answer. So, as my fellow students filled the DC with anticipation for the next meal, I knew that there were only 2 ways that I was going to get my information: by waiting or by walking to the back and asking if they'd forgotten. Being as impatient as I am socially anxious, I did what any sensible person would do in my position. I left the DC. Since I didn't know how large the bags of cereal would be, I had to do the math myself. Now, it's important to note that these formulas are dependent on a standard retail price, not a potentially better deal that the school could be getting from purchasing directly from the producer or in a bulk order. So I'll be using the prices listed on Walmart.com, as that's the only place I've ever seen Malt-O-Meal. So, thanks to the prices listed, we know that a 40-ounce bag of Fruity Dino Bites are $5.98 at 14.2 cents per ounce. However, if we were to purchase a larger bag, let's say 65 ounces, we'd be looking at $8.12, which is actually a better price because you'd only be paying 12.5 cents per ounce. Let's do the math on that. There's a difference of 1.7 cents saved from purchasing the 65-ounce bag as opposed to the 40-ounce bag. And that means you're saving 0.068 cents per extra ounce after the initial 40 ounces they'd be getting regardless of what bag you purchased. So, if the school purchases bags with 65 ounces, then all the initial establishing math is done. But I have no idea if that's truly the case. Due to the lack of curds that's only rivaled by Burt Lahr, I'm not entirely sure if we're looking at 65 ounces or 108. Scouring the internet, I couldn't find a 108-ounce bag anywhere, so in order to find out how much the 108-ounce bag should cost, I have to use the data that we just acquired from the previous equations. I'm going to skip all the me doing the actual math because I royally screwed myself. I figured out the initial price for the 108 bag at the same time I discovered everything else. However, in a cruel twist of fate, the words of my freshman math teacher, Miss Berger, are ringing in my ears. Someday, you not showing your work is going to get you into trouble, and I never imagined that she would be right, much less be right when I'm making a video about cereal. Regardless, let's look at the potential of a 108-ounce bag. You'd be looking at around $10.38 at 9.6 cents per ounce, and that is a significantly better deal. However, to find how many bowls we could fill with the cereal, I'm going to have to figure out once and for all the bags are 65 ounces or 108. I really didn't want to go back to the DC, especially since I don't have one of those post-apocalyptic eat tokens, so I'm going to present a question for you. And it seems a bit out of left field, but I want you to look deep at yourself. Do you believe that we as human beings are uniquely rational agents? We as people have the rational power, or perhaps the illusion of free will. The late philosopher Immanuel Kant believed that all people are born with an intrinsic worth, or human dignity. He also believed that lying corrupts the most important qualities of being human, as each lie someone tells themselves or others contradicts the part of us that gives us moral worth. So even though that we have the ability to lie, we shouldn't, because it's abusing the power that we have in free will. But there are such things as pro-social lies. They are essentially these little white lies that will benefit someone else. As kids, we learn these pro-social lies to be polite. It's sort of like if your mom asks you, "Oh, did you like the lentil soup?" And you're like, "Oh, yes, I loved the lentil and onion soup, Mom, thank you." Or if you said, "Oh, Dad, thank you for the socks for Christmas. How'd you know what I wanted?" Essentially, what I'm setting up here is that I'm a product of my environment, and I shouldn't be held accountable for what I'm about to do.
Sue? Calling.
Thank you for calling Post Consumer Brands, makers of Malt-O-Meal. To continue your call in English, please press 1.
We're glad you called. Your call may be monitored or recorded. Please remain on the line, and your call will be answered by the next available representative.
I hope that doesn't take long.
Thank you for calling Post Consumer Brands. This is Sue. How may I help you?
Hi, Sue. My name is Brian. How you doing today?
Good. How about yourself?
Not bad. See, I just had a quick question. I was looking around your website, poking around, and I couldn't exactly see who I was supposed to call about this. But so I'm a youth pastor's assistant down in Decatur, Illinois, and we didn't get to do a fun church camp or anything this year. So we were planning something for here in December. So we wanted to buy an insane amount of those fruity dino bites. I was wondering, are the 65 ounces the biggest you got? I heard from a friend that you could buy 108 ounces, but I couldn't find anything like that on the internet, so I wasn't sure if that was actually the case.
Okay, and we thank you so much for wanting to use cereal for a fun day. And the 65 is the largest bag we make in the fruity dino bites.
Okay, all right. And is there a place where I could go to bulk order it? Or is that would I just be better to buy individual bags?
Okay, we don't have a direct ordering, and you can check prices on the internet, online between Amazon, possibly Walmart, Target, but you can Google the cereal and see what online retailers show up, or you can price the cereal at the different stores and see if they could even get the amount you need.
Alrighty, thank you so much. You've been a big help.
Okay, and Brian, do you spell your name with an I or a Y just to document the call, please?
With a Y.
And may I have your zip code, please?
Yep, that'd be 62521.
And would you care to leave your last name?
Yep, that's gonna be TACKO.
TAC as in cat, KO?
Yep.
All right, anything else I can help you with?
Nope, that's gonna be it.
You have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for calling Malt-O-Meal.
You have a great day too.
All right, goodbye now.
Bye-bye. Thus is the death of Brian Taco. No! That's why my name was Brian Taco.
With Sue's help, we now have all of the pieces of the puzzle, and a few more that we don't need. But I guess I wasted my time finding out the prices of a non-existing 108-ounce bag, but maybe someday we'll find, when the world is in a better place, that there is a 100-ounce bag of fruity dino bites waiting for us. But what's waiting for us now is a China company, specifically Delco Atlantic China. It's the company that provides the school with all of the bowls and silverware that we have. On average, the bowls that they sell hold around 2 cups of cereal, or 16 ounces. So now, it's time for the final equation. At 12.5 cents per ounce, you would have to eat 298.65 bags, which translates to 19,425.25 ounces, which means if you want to get your money's worth at the DC, you'd have to eat 1,214.07 bowls. To put that into scale, that'd be the equivalent of 5.28 Solomons, or 1 1/5 whale testicle. Also, while we're talking at such large scale, you'd be consuming 36,422.34 grams of sugar. That's 242.82 times more than the daily allowance, as suggested by the American Heart Association. Now here we sit, like Adam and Eve below the tree. We now know how many bowls of cereal we would need to eat to use 100% of the money we spend on the meal plan. It's sort of a cruel thing to know what can be done, but not if it can be done. Perhaps when the world is back to normal and the DC starts serving our precious fruity Dino Bites again, we can see if it can be done. And with that, my dear friends, it's time where our journey ends, with the hope of a new one. But don't be sad. There are plenty of other cereal brands and bad ideas that we could explore this year. So until next time, good night, friends. Bwang!